Hey, what's up guys? This is Dan again with not my STI, not my motorcycle, but my new daily driver. I got a little winter beater here. She is a 98 Chevy S10, 2.2 liter, so it's got the smaller little Chevy motor. Surprisingly, it's actually a 5-speed in there, which is kind of cool. You don't see those too often. And we paid $4 grand for this with taxes and registration, obviously all that. It was closer to 5, but trucks got 70,000 original miles. So that is pretty low for a truck nearly as old as I am. Well, actually I was born in '90, so I'm a little older than this old truck, which is kind of sad to think about. But yeah, 70,000 original miles, and I got this thing looking quite fresh. So I was pretty content with my STI. I still am. Still got low mileage. Like I said, I got it new in 18. It just hit 20,000 miles, so I don't drive it a lot, and it's been perfect as a daily driver. It's fun, it's comfortable. It can drive in all sorts of weather. It could go easily in the snow, especially with the right tires. I mean, I have Nitto Neogens on the STI, which are like more performance, cheap, all-season tires, and the thing still goes in the snow without issues. But the car is low. It's lowered on coilovers. It's mint. And those two reasons are primarily why I wanted a beater. Because when it does snow and when it's really crappy out, although the STI will go, I'd rather just be cruising around in something cheap, cruising around in something that's a little more lifted, a little more higher off the ground, and I don't have to worry about smacking up, sliding into things, you know, people parking near me, just getting salt and other shit and grime all over my STI, because I could be taking this. Another big thing is the mileage. This little 2.2 liter S10 that weighs 2,900 pounds gets like 25 miles to the gallon, maybe a little more if I really drive it like a grandma. Now my STI can, and I will say can, get close to that if I do all highway, like complete grandma driving. But realistically, the way I drive, I get like 17 to 18 miles to the gallon. It's stop and go. There's a ton of cars on Long Island, a lot of traffic. So, like I said, I was happy with driving my STI all the time, but we found this, like I said, out east. It was a Hamptons little beach car owned by an old couple. And for $4 grand, I was like, you know what? I'll drive it. And then I will put time and money into it, make it look like this. And worst case, I fucking resell it. So that's it. But I have to show you what this thing looked like prior, because like I said, the people who owned it prior, you could tell it's definitely an older couple. They just kind of gave up on it, and it was completely encrusted with garbage and other grime, and just the hood and the grill, where you would not think it's the same truck, is my point, because it was at the point where it was dangerously uncared for. Like if you would have left it at that state for another couple of years, the paint, the clear coat would have been destroyed. But fortunately, I got it in time. I detailed it. I completely went through it. I polished it. I did the whole 9. And if you guys see my STI, you know I take very good care of my things. And fortunately, the paint was still good enough that it really came back to life. And I could tell some sections were reshot, resprayed, but that's fine with me, as long as it mostly matches, and as long as there's no real, you know, like ugly paint defects. So I didn't care, and I'll show you guys on the other side of the bed. It was reshot, but you could barely tell, and especially after the full detailing, came out great. So the wheels, the original wheels were shot. I put these torque thrusts on them. Oh, here comes the garbage guy. He's rolling around. I hear him. I put these American torque thrusts on them. The original S10 Chevy wheels, completely shot. Small little 15-inch wheels. They just look too small in my opinion, and the clear coat was completely damaged. So, what's up, buddy? So I got rid of those. Actually, they're still in my basement. And I put these on. These look great. This is like that classic American muscle wheel style. You see them on all the originals, Challengers, Mustangs, Camaros. It's like, this is the safe bet for any retro American muscle. And they're called American Racing Torque Thrusts. There's a few variations of them, but I like them. I like them. I like them on slightly newer cars. I like them on a lot of things. It's just a good, simple looking wheel. These are 17 by 8s, and the tire size is 235, 55, 17. And since these are a 17, the tire sizes were a little weird. They were a little off, but I kind of wanted something beefy. But you really can't even tell on this truck that it's like that's a 55. This is a good size sidewall. It's noisy hour here in Greenlawn. There's a lot going on, but we're still filming. Like I said, complete detail, complete paint restoration. Fortunately, the blacks were still good. I used the Maguires or Mothers back to black, and it really helped out. But the thing about that stuff is it only lasts, you know, a couple weeks until it rains, and then it's a faded black again. But another reason why I bought this truck is because the parts are stupid cheap. And you go on eBay, you go on Amazon, you will find something like a new grill and new headlights for like 80 bucks a piece. And when I say a piece, I mean the grill's 80 bucks. And then a pair of headlights is 80 bucks. And then a pair of turn signals are cheap. They're just really cheap. So the original, the front end looked all crusty and crappy. So I got the new grill on eBay, like I said, 80 bucks. I got a little Chevy emblem, whatever it was, 20 bucks. Got new headlights. I think the complete set of all 4 headlights and turn signals was like another 80 bucks. You know, some cheap LED bulbs, plug and play. They look nice, but they're not bright. Take my word on that. They're not bright when you're driving at night, so I got to figure that out. I got this lower valance for 60 bucks, and my buddy, you know, painted it for free because I work in the auto industry. I help him out. He helps me out. The torque thrust for I think $690 for all 4 rims. The tires I got for another $450 installed. The bed cover got on eBay, which is actually really nice for the price paid. This was $170, which is cheap, but it's actually nice. The finish and the quality and the fitment, I'm actually really happy with that. That's another little eBay thing. The tail lamps were okay, but I detailed them. I used plastic polish, brought them back to life a little bit. Now, basic little things like the license plate frame are simple, clean ways, simple and cost-efficient ways to make it look a little bit cleaner and just well put together. Black lug nuts, you know, $20 on eBay. Antenna stock, it looks like. Well, I think that's it for the exterior. The exterior is actually pretty nice with the detailing. And then on the inside, I got some cheap Chevy mats from like Advanced Auto, just for the time being, you know, whatever they were. A basic steering wheel wrap. The aftermarket radio came in it, which is good. The seats I cleaned, I shampooed myself with some warm water. I just gave it a good rub down. Interior wasn't bad, definitely needed a good cleaning. The headliner, I think it's notorious on these years, just starts peeling off, so it's something you don't really see, believe it or not. I kind of just took crazy glue and pressed it against it. It's not the cleanest fix, but unless you're staring right at it with that angle, it looks like cellulite or something. You actually don't see it, so I wasn't worried about that. But ultimately, the thing is, a nice truck. It's a great little commuter car, or a station car, if you will. And I drive it to work. another typical GM / Chevy issue of the 90s or the time. It cracks, but what are you gonna do? It's a great truck. I go back and forth to work with it. I had one check engine light that was an evap code. I wound up replacing it. It was a sensor above my fuel tank, and since then I've had no issues. Gets great gas mileage. Can use regular in it. Obviously I have to put premium in the STI. It's light, it looks good. Believe it or not, I get more compliments on this thing than my STI. It's always from guys, and they're like, hey man, nice S10, you never see those anymore. Wow, that thing's clean, or nice truck. And it's cool, man. It's a good feeling to have something that was a diamond in the rough, and now it's an actual nice daily driver. And it definitely lacks some amenities. It lacks AC and other things, but for what it's worth, a little Chevy S10, you know, for, I don't know, let's just say $5,200 at this point out the door with taxes and parts included, maybe $5,500. It's not a bad price. I think if I were to sell this now, I could get at least that, if not a little more. Just got to find the right buyer. Most of them do go for cheap, but one with original mileage this low and in this condition, this thing's mint. I love it. It looks cool, and it's a fun little beat around truck. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, and take care.